Hello, we're going to talk about some of the 2D to 3D workflow tools. So, we've talked previously about solving adjacencies. Now, solving adjacencies in terms of rooms on the same level, it's not that big of a deal. Where it starts to get more complicated is when you're looking at it from the top down, and you need to start worrying about like the interstitial, like roof ceilings and floors touching. Those areas when they solve adjacencies. Let's go ahead and make these rooms really quick. Now, if we hide, we can see with the color by boundary condition that this is all the outdoors boundary condition. Now, when we run PO solve adjacency, face is now split. We have our surface boundary condition on this face to facilitate that adjacency. Now the same thing is going to happen when we put rooms on top of each other. PO add rooms. PO solve adjacency. Now that same thing happened here. Room was split. And that's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's what we want. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the floor plans that I made earlier. Same thing here. We have level 3 is green, level 2 is blue. I'll toggle off the layers. Red is 1. As you can see, we have this zone here denoted by this curve, and then on level 2, there's these two. And solve adjacency will, when this curve is extruded into a room, solve adjacency will split that face into 2, which is exactly what we want. But we want to make sure that we're mindful that we're going to have to run that command. Now, if we were to run that command here, we would have no issues. Everything's perpendicular, corner to corner is all clean, good to go here. Things that are going to start running into issues are if you start moving corners of geometry around. Sometimes you can have, it's hard to do on accident, I swear. You can sometimes have where rooms will get inside of each other in this sort of way, which this will create invalid geometry as when we run PO solve adjacency, we're gonna get some error messages and run into some issues. Now, if this was a really big model and we couldn't just easily kind of like look around and see, if we wanted to clean this geometry before extruding and creating our model, there's a couple tools that we have. If you go up here to the repair tools button on the pollination tab, one that we have is check 2D ortho. So we're going to go ahead and select that, highlight that, and we'll see we're told exactly where that problem geometry is, which helps us find it and clean it up. Now sometimes there'll be clusters of corners. I'll see if I can try. I'll try to make one. It's no guarantees. These are getting highlighted for being non-ortho, but let's see if we can get the check adjacency to work. Now let's go ahead and highlight this. Okay, I wasn't able to make a point group that was correctly incorrect enough, but let's go ahead and clean this back up. So something you want to be mindful of is you don't want to make if you can avoid it, having very narrow strips of faces, even if it's just very small, such as, oh, whoops. Even though these two are parallel, can still cause the issue, and down the line, if it's possible, it's good practice to just clean them up a little bit there. Okay, I think we've done a bunch of stuff in the 2D. Now when we go to 3D, sometimes we can see stuff super messed up like this. Now we can highlight this geometry and do PO extrude 2D plans. Boom, we now have nice geometry from our floor plans. And then PO add rooms. PO solve adjacency. Let's go ahead and add some windows. Take a little look at that. That's nice. Now, we're already good to go to save as INP. All we have to do is save as, look for equest geometry, and boom, good to go. Open that up in equest real quick. And there we go.